Okay, let's go to the go-to shot. For most players, the go-to shot is that forehand. So the forehand in most cases is the weapon for the player. In the case of Coach Shields, who was an All-American at Boise State, that was his go-to shot, man. That was his big shot. That was his weapon. Several things about it. Let's start. I always say it's hands and feet when you play tennis. It's not really the arm that hits the ball. As you notice as he's hitting, his feet start to move to the ball, and he's going to attack the ball with his feet, but it's not big steps. It's almost like a cha-cha-cha, then a big stance as he hits. A cha-cha-cha, little hip-hop, then he winds his stance as he hits the ball. Now, the most important thing about the forehand is let's set the table for a gourmet meal, or in our case, a gourmet forehand. And how do you do it and how you set the table and put the knives and the forks and the plates down. Basically, the preparation is first of all, what we call the unit turn, and the unit being the whole body. It's not the arm. You don't swing the arm. You basically use the body. As you notice, Coach Shields' head is still, and as he moves to the ball, he is turning his shoulders, and preparing his racket is he's doing it with the turn of his body, not with his arm swinging. As he does this, his left arm is going to be very important. It's almost like a ski lift operator that turns the machine and the racket is like a skier. He's going to lift the racket head up as he is preparing. And what the racket's going to do is, you notice it never stops, but the racket's going to linger, and then as the ball comes into the body, it is going to drop under the ball and hit the ball at the height of its bounce, and it's going to come under and over and cover the ball. Now, the one thing that I really want you to notice as you see this is that he is going to basically, for that beautiful split second, he is going to point the butt of the racket at the ball. The butt of the racket is going to be like a flashlight, and he's going to shine the spotlight on the ball, and that butt goes towards the racket, and it's going to drag the racket head. There's going to be a drag, and then right when it makes contact, the racket head is going to hit the ball, and we call it covering the ball, which means under and over. The racket is going to basically go over and cover the ball as it's hitting. I almost think of it as a windshield wiper that is going to clean the windshield. Or in some ways, if you remember the movie The Karate Kid, and the wise old instructor is telling the young Karate Kid to brush on as he waxes the car, wax on, wax off, or brush on, brush off. So the racket head is going to cover over the ball. Now the fall through, if you look at this, and as he hits, one thing we got to notice is that a great forehand and a great backhand is you distance yourself from the ball. You don't let the ball get too close, or you don't want to reach too much, but you want to lengthen it, which is comfortable. And so that distance is really important, because as you notice Clancy, as he hits, he is going to lengthen his arm as he hits. And the fall through is going to be a very natural fall through. You don't really worry about where the racket ends up, but what you want to do is make sure that that elbow is pointing at the target at the end. As you look at Clancy is going to be using his elbow to point at it. And in Clancy's case, Coach Shields' case, he is going to have his elbow about the height of his shoulder, almost the height of that smile. So I call for Clancy, his racket ends up smile high, which is basically his elbow's up by where's that incredible smile, noticing that his forehand has been so effective.